you want to, I have made a custom mix of Metroid Prime music. So,
looks like missing audio on the stream.
No sound. I don't think that's me.
Okay. Yep.
Did y'all not have comms until now? Did you hear what I said?
We can start over.
From the very beginning, where I say hello, everybody, and then he says hello, and then Anyway, welcome back, everybody. What's up, Zadie? My name's Zoast. I am well known for Super Metroid speedrunning, but we're going to be doing something a little different today. We're going to be doing some in-game time runs, which is kind of old school. You may have, if you were around like 12 to 15 years ago, this is more what you'd be seeing. But we'll just go ahead and get into the run. I'm also playing MSU Hack, which lets you replace the music with anything you'd like to. It's kind of you have to go through some kind of tedious steps, but I've replaced the music with a collection of Metroid Prime music for you. We'll go ahead and get going, though. We can talk about the run as we go.
Real quick, people are saying that I have an echo. You know why that might be?
It would be because they're picking up both Discord and the stream, I'm guessing.
Testing.
Fix
now. Okay, we're good.
Okay, thank you.
Cool. All right. So, this is Ceres, the Ceres space station, everybody's favorite part of the run.
Zodin pumping?
Yep, so in Super Metroid, you may be familiar with something called arm pumping, which is where every time Samus moves her arm cannon up or down, she moves forward 1 pixel. Fairly recently, there was an optimization to the way that people arm pump with a new method that we refer to as Zodin pumping, because Zodin is the one that came up with it. Essentially, you use your fingers to rake the R button to hit it really, really fast, and Zo's going to be doing a little bit of that here. So, if you see the arm pump kind of happening at inhuman speeds, he is not indeed cheating with the turbo button. He's actually just using that raking method called Zodin pumping. So,
I like how I did that room slower than you would have normally. Sometimes. Yeah. It's hard to do the stop before the door with Zodin pumping.
Yeah.
It's called stop on it.
I have yet to do a marathon run where it actually helped me. So,
I just know, like, in the long run, once I get really comfortable with doing it there, it should be faster on, usually. Right. And it's the beginning of the run, so.
That's just how speedrunning goes.
Yep.
You implement a new thing and it hurts for a while, and then eventually it makes everything better.
Yeah, we do a thing called stopping on a dime. You get close enough to those like self-opening doors, and then you basically, if you hold an angle button and then you let go of the D-pad, Samus will just stop immediately. There won't be any like slow down stop. So we do that there, and it's kind of difficult to do the Zodin pumping and do the stop on a dime at the correct point and all that.
Yep, so like Zoast mentioned, this run is actually optimized for in-game time. The leaderboards focus on RTA timers, but in the olden days, records in this game were measured by the in-game time, which is shown at the end of the run. And currently, the any percent world record in-game time is at 27. The timer at the end doesn't show the seconds value. Zoast is working on trying to get a 26 in-game time run. He has not achieved that as of yet, but who knows? Maybe we'll see it right here. So we're grabbing Morph Ball here. I'm trying to think of what else is coming up that we can talk about.
When you say the olden days, it reminds me, for some reason, what comes to my mind is the Spinal Tap quote when they're doing Stonehenge. And they say, tens of years before the dawn of history. I think they say hundreds, but it's still pretty hilarious.
So Zoast just picked up a missile pack. And you may have noticed that there were no enemies on his way down. He's going to go back up the elevator here, and then suddenly there's going to be enemies that have appeared in the following rooms. Interestingly enough, these enemies are not spawned by grabbing the missile pack, like a lot of people believe. The pirates in this next room are spawned by the missile pack, but all of the other enemies that hadn't appeared are actually activated just by opening a flashing gray door, which Zoasty's going to do right here. So, just a little trivia there for you. This room is called Climb. Lots of runners will do a wall jump like Zoasty's here. Some other runners will opt to do ledge grabs up the middle. They're roughly the same speed either way. So.
This whole section is sort of a good measurement of your early game movements. One of the harder sections in the early game to play perfectly. Oh.
That's not good.
That is not good. Something weird about like where you land there. Sometimes you'll get hit. Yeah, this route is sort of like a mix of old and new though. We talk about it being old, but I'm doing hybrid route. Maybe I missed some of your commentary while I was focusing on the run. But
no, I didn't actually talk about that. I just mentioned the timing methods. Do you want to talk about that? Do you want me to cover it, or
you can go ahead and cover it. You don't mind?
Yeah, that's fine. So again, referring to the olden days, we used to do any percent in the traditional boss order, we'll call it. Basically, what the developers intended was that you fight Kraid, then Phantoon, then Dragon, then Ridley. The current any percent route actually fights Phantoon first, and then goes to Ridley, and then goes to Kraid, and then goes to Dragon. So those are referred to as KPDR and PRKD, respectively. Zoast is going to be running a route here that is referred to as hybrid. So he's going to do Phantoon first, but then he's going to go down to Norfair. He's going to grab the speed booster. And then from there, do you hit Dragon after that? Is that what it is? I know.
After Upper Norfair, I go to Kraid and then Meridian.
Kraid and then Dragon.
Yeah.
So it's kind of this weird Phantoon, then Kraid, then Dragon, then Ridley. And the benefit to the hybrid route is that you get a much stronger beam for higher damage output than you would in the traditional any percent run. And by RTA standards, hybrid is a bit slower than the current world record route, but by in-game time standards, it's about the same. Is that correct?
I timed it as like 8 seconds faster, but there is definitely a margin of error to my test.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's not, I wouldn't call it definitive, but I did time it as faster.
You didn't TAS it out?
I'm afraid not.
Are you even dedicated to your...
Uh-oh.
You've been exposed. The lazy speedrunner in Super Metroid.
Definitely the laziest. Wish I could accomplish something. It's cool that the in-game time does switch like the route. Essentially, like the fact that doors don't count against your in-game time allows that to change. So like the backtracking doesn't count against you. Essentially,
As much.
it's not as much. Yeah. So going to get plasma and everything makes up for the whatever extra backtracking that you do compared to, you know, the RTA route.
Yeah, so speaking of doors, this is something I wanted to talk about, actually. Whenever Zoast goes through a door, you'll notice that it scrolls across the screen. Before the door can scroll across the screen, it has to center itself on the screen. So in real-time runs, you'll see runners try to do something called fixing a door, where they essentially try to move through the door in a way that moves it closer to the center of the screen before it, has to move across. But that actually that doesn't matter in game time. Any time spent watching the door move across the screen does not count for in-game time. And so a lot of optimizations that you would normally see in a real-time run to fix doors are not going to be present here. And there are actually some strats, correct me if I'm wrong here, Zos, but there's some strats that you might do that would actually make the door transition longer, but they make the in-game time movement shorter, so.
Yeah, for sure. Even going into power bombs there, normally I would try to catch that lip before the door. Oh crap. That's a bad time to start trying to explain stuff. Going for that strat. Alright, we didn't get hit.
Yeah, focus up here. Don't want to...
It's okay.
Mess up here. It'll be bad.
I don't trust that. What was I talking about? Sorry.
Just messing up doors to make the in-game time movement faster, basically.
Yeah, I fell all the way to the floor before the power bomb. This is a really small thing, but I fell all the way to the floor before going to that room with the power bombs. Where normally I would try to clip that ledge, which would move the door a little bit more to the center. Just a very small thing, but if you want a big door transition, it would be the one before going to Speed Booster there in Batcave. Yeah. That one's going to be a big door transition.
So we are approaching Phantoon here. Phantoon is the first major boss that we're going to be fighting, and the short version of this fight is that Phantoon can give us different patterns that drastically change the length of time of the fight. Ideally, we want to finish Phantoon in 2 rounds or less. I'm going to shut up here so Zos can focus. So this is going to be a slow pattern.
Oh no!
Almost, that was really good.
I felt good about that one too.
So Zos did something right there where he was attempting to kill Phantoon in 1 round. That is very, very difficult. Essentially, it's a series of frame-perfect missile shots into a super shot. You have to do 15 normal missiles into a super. Looked like you got about 10 off.
Yeah.
Like the regular missiles. So pretty close.
Yeah.
But yeah, essentially, most runs you're going to see Phantoon finished in 2 rounds or more. The difference between the fastest patterns for 2 rounds and the slowest patterns for 2 rounds is a little over 20 seconds. So it is a pretty big swing there with RNG. And the RNG cannot be manipulated by humans, unfortunately. So
the best thing about the 1 round is it kind of cuts out the RNG a bit, because a slow 1 round is like as fast as what, a fast mid or so? Something like that?
Somewhere between a fast and a fast mid. Yeah, depending on how you handle the patterns. Because you can do different things like throw Phantoon off screen and stuff like that. So. This room is called Attic. And you saw Zos went back to make sure that he killed that enemy there. The doors in this room are all locked until you kill all the enemies. So.
Yeah, I shot my missile a little bit to the left, I think. Which I think it's because the key hunter, I wasn't close enough to have the key hunter swoop at me, so it didn't get out of the way.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, next up we have a room called Bowling. Normally, the game wants you to have grapple beam to get across this room, but nobody ever does that.
Yeah, we didn't even. I mean, grapple is such a slow detour. that was never in the speedrun that I can remember, in any percent that I can ever remember.
Yeah. So since Zos doesn't have any suits yet for damage reduction, those spikes do quite a bit of damage. He had enough energy that he could have taken 1 more hit if needed, but any more than that, he would have been dead. So. But yeah, we just. Normally, we just run through the spikes. In some runs, you'll see people do a Shine Spark across, but Yeah, grapple is too slow. So here we're grabbing Gravity Suit. This is, I would say, probably the largest benefit to doing Phantoon first is that you get gravity so early into the run. Gravity Suit in the vanilla version of Super Metroid essentially supersedes the other suit upgrade that you can get. So you get all of the benefits of having the Varia suit in addition to the benefits from the Gravity Suit. So that's 75% damage reduction, and it allows Samus to move freely in water and other non-air environments. So,
I forgot to do right side. Keep forgetting to do that.
Also, Gravity Suit is awesome because it's purple.
That's true.
Purple is an awesome color. So,
yeah, it's funny that people are almost as used to gravity not being OP because, like, you know, randomizer is so prevalent now. Sometimes people are surprised to hear the vanilla behavior.
Yep. In randos, they kind of balanced it so that gravity. I think it splits heat damage in half rather than nullifying it, something like that.
Oops.
And it also has its own set of damage reduction instead of just being 75%. So.
Yeah, it kind of depends on the particular randomizer often, but the way the vanilla is, you know, arranged, Varia is kind of useless if you get gravity, so to make both the suits worthwhile grabs and powerful grabs, that was changed in a lot of randomizers.
Yeah. There is one reason that we still need Varia in the vanilla speedrun. Lots of people ask when they're watching, why do you still grab Varia when you already have gravity? The reason for that is because there's an unavoidable attack near the end of the game that only Varia does damage reduction for. Gravity does not. So in order for us to survive that attack, we need either a larger number of energy tanks or we need Varia Suit. And
Ooh, I made a
is faster to grab, so.
Made a mistake here. I'm just going to go back the other way. So we're going to have less missiles here. 20 instead of 25, but that should be fine.
Yeah. I see.
Should be fine.
Hey, I
don't really
need to step away for just a minute. Sorry.
No worries. So you really don't lose in-game time to get that missile pack. But the fact that I didn't have a power bomb, I should have killed the little bug on the way in and opened the door. With the power bomb, you can kill it and go up towards the missile at the same time, which is what I'm used to doing. But I didn't have a power bomb, so. Yeah, so far this route is pretty close to the RTA route. You would get Spazer in the RTA route. And you can get it here. But if you were going to be really old school, like the first run I ever saw did this glitched beam called Murder Beam. You would have to get Spazer for that, but it's kind of a legacy thing that was allowed back in the day, but technically probably shouldn't be allowed now. Because other kinds of glitch beams can really abuse the game. Break the game, maybe is better way to put it. So here's where the route's gonna diverge even more so from the your like any percent RTA route. Right here, we would have gotten Spazer, plus we would be going down from here towards Lower Norfair, but we're gonna go up to Kraid. in Meridia before Lower Norfair, which is somewhat which has some inefficiency as far as routing. But the benefit is you have plasma and space jump for Lower Norfair. Plasma is the biggest benefit by far. Plasma will save you quite a bit of time on Ridley and about like 40 seconds on Mother Brain compared to what you would have in an RTA run.
I'm back.
All right, welcome back.
Thank you. So yeah, like Zos was saying, plasma does make a huge difference in the damage output. So,
also we would have gotten ice on the way to on the first trip down there if this was the RTA run. But we're gonna wait until later when we have speed and space jump and everything. We could have got it on the way towards Kraid, but there's really no reason to need it here. You really don't need it until you get to Lower Norfair, I think.
yeah, it would. You'd probably just end up turning it off. You got it earlier, so.
Right, which is not a big deal because in game time the pauses do not count against you, but
right.
And we're just liking the game to have fun here. Not really any other reason.
Nice quick kill.
Thank you. Yeah, technically, having space jump will allow you to do a very advanced strat on the way to Ice Beam, so it should be, you know, time save to wait until later. We'll get to that though.
That strat's scary. When I was running KPDR, there was more than one time that I stuck there. But
oh, you got
like
stuck by the gate.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that when we.
Don't mention the gate until I get past the gate.
Yeah.
Actually, that
I want to curse you. It's not like you've ever done that to me.
I would never do that.
Never.
Unless it was Jack.
Heck, Jack.
Heck, Jack.
I saw him in chat earlier.
Yeah.
He's probably still there.
There's a lot of like really small in-game time optimizations. Like, oh god.
There
you wouldn't want to wall jump. Well, I messed the whole strat up, so never mind. Nothing to see here.
All right, so let's see. Well,
Normally we would move right to left here to manipulate the crabs to reduce lag.
snails.
But without having to worry about that, we just get as much fall speed as possible. Technically, it'd be better to moonfall there, but it's kind of weird to do.
Is it like? Is that actually better?
Yeah, it's hard to pull off to me. It's not much, you know. It's like maybe 5 to 10 frames quicker or something. Something like that.
Nice kill there on Batoon.
Thank you.
So I should actually mention this. Zos currently only has Wave Beam equipped, and when Samus just has one beam aside from Charge Beam equipped, you can select Power Bombs and then hold a charge shot for a little longer than it takes to actually get the charge, and that will activate what's referred to as I think is a special beam attack. We call the Wave Beam special beam attack X Factor, And you probably saw Zos use it on Botwoon there, and he's going to use it again on Dragon here. So this is another situation where I'm going to shut up so he can focus, but very cool X Factor strats coming up here. So.
I don't think you have to worry about this fight so much. Fan-tune the audio does help me to like time my Dopplers, but this fight I should be okay with you talking if you want to.
All right, so you'll see Zos shot a wave beam there to bring out the X Factor here at a very specific time. Now he's going to run around the room to manipulate the way that the particles move so that they'll hit Dragon in a specific way. And then here he's doing essentially the same thing. Very nice fight.
Thank you.
All right, so Zoast just intentionally damaged on those.
Oh no! How did I do that?
He did that to get a glitch called Spike Suit or Spark Suit. Essentially lets him use a Shine Spark whenever he wants, and he chose to use it immediately. So.
Oh no!
He was gonna use it to go really fast back across the long room, but. It's kind of a pain to hold on to be honest. Spike suits are not easy to hold on to, so he'll just space jump back across instead. Old school strat, man.
Old school strat, Wample jump. This one's called Wample jump. I don't know why, but that's what it's called.
Cool, man.
Thank you for the donations. This is the donation incentive.
Don't let these guys lick you, they hurt.
We're going to the secret passage. This is perhaps my favorite room. We're gonna sit here for a second. This is not actually wasting much at all in game time to do this. But if I had to fall asleep, take a nap in a room, this would be number one right here. This would be where I would want to be. And I feel like people are not that aware if that room even exists, so I want to show it off.
Very cool room. There have been times that I literally forgot about that passageway back there.
There's like the color of it. It's like a nice blue watercolor and turquoise.
So Zoast is he's heading towards Plasma Beam now.
It doesn't take much to impress me. Some nice colors.
Nice plasma spark there.
Thank you.
That is harder than it looks. I actually had to do that earlier when I was testing something, and it took me a solid like 2 minutes to do it. And I used to be able to do it all the time.
You're probably not practiced on it, though, are you?
Yeah, I kind of forgot, the specifics. But that's what I was gonna say is like, there are hard shine sparks in this game. Of all the ones that you see in major runs, I would say that it might be the hardest, just because you have to move Samus in a very specific way to have the time that you need to do it. So.
Yeah, it's a classic spark. I know, like when we did that 4-way race at GDQ in 2013, it's kind of famous. We all made like a pact to go for it no matter what.
Oh yeah.
And then Garrison kind of died because he kind of wasted health trying to go for it.
Oh no. Dang. That's too bad.
It at least contributed to his death, I'm pretty sure. I mean, it wasn't like the only reason, but... Oh. Love that angle shot. Let's work on this room a little earlier. It feels really good when you get it all.
Always been bad at that angle shot.
Yeah, it is a little weird.
It's super weird.
Oh. Alright, here's what we were talking about earlier. You have to run to get under that gate without blue.
Yep, so if you don't have enough run speed there, you just get caught behind the gate. And in order to basically the backup is leave the room and do it again. It's very, very slow. So it's a pretty risky strat, but good job pulling it off. It's really cool when you do it right. So
shoutouts to TAS, which is where that particular strat. Well, did it originate from TAS, or maybe it was a theory test? I can't remember now.
I'm not sure.
It may have been a Desi theory test. I can't really remember. That's when you know you've been playing a video game for too long, friends. You don't even remember anything from when you first started playing it. I do not regret my choice of game to play this much, though. This game is amazing.
Oh, definitely. It doesn't happen all the time, but every once in a while somebody will come into my stream, or like I'll be talking to like an IRL friend or whatever, and they're like, I don't get how you play the same game over.
Yeah, that's fair.
And I'm like, I get it, you know, obviously, but if I had to pick a game to do that with, it would be this game, just because there's so many different ways to play it. Even if you're running like the exact same category and even the same route as someone else, there's still so many different ways that you can approach every single room that just really, it just keeps it really fresh. So
yeah, we always talk about how you can almost tell who's playing, even if you didn't know for sure who it was, but you just watched the gameplay. You know, there's a lot of ways you could tell who it was playing, even if they're doing the same run, all that.
Yeah, lots of different styles, I guess, is how I'd refer to it. Like every runner has their specific style. Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Oh.
We're just gonna wing this.
Scaring me there.
So, oh, I didn't notice my health was that low too. Oh my!
Yeah, those pirates and their shots do 50 damage. So just playing it a little, scary there.
A little cavalier here.
These enemies also do 50 damage, but they're a little easier to deal with if you have plasma beam. So.
Yeah, I generally don't pay attention to my health because I don't really need health. If you don't make a mistake, you don't need health because I'm not shine sparking the pillars. You know, that's one reason. So
these guys do 40, so they hit pretty hard too, not quite as bad. And then Zoast intentionally damaged on those spikes there so that he could essentially clip down through those platforms, but taking less damage doing it. Those floating platforms there are actually considered enemies, and they do a lot of damage.
Oh, okay.
So, I hate it when that happens.
What was that, dude? Oh my god.
Alright, well, good luck with Ridley.
Yeah, I need to be careful here. Of course. That's fine. Ooh!
Okay.
It's fine.
Are you trying to give me a heart attack over here, man?
Just gotta keep things exciting. That's all.
You were pixels away from getting bodied twice. Alright. Pretty much out of danger zone here now. Nice energy drops from Ridley. So.
Oh my god.
Dude, I did that. It's so annoying.
was a little scary there. Don't want to take too much damage. Although, really, I can always put ice back on for Three Musketeers here. I need to.
Sure.
I need to work out some consistent Three Musketeer strats, really. It's kind of one of the few things missing that I need to look into some more, I think.
Yeah. So, Zosta is
Yo, let's go.
A group
Sorry.
of enemies. Nice roll. Group of enemies called Three Musketeers. That is these 3 key hunters right here. They each do 50 damage if you make contact with them. And when the current any percent route was first being run by people about 10 years ago now, those 3 enemies probably single-handedly killed more runs than any other section. Would you say that's true, Zos? Like,
I think that's a fair assessment.
it was the key hunters. The way that they move is really interesting. They move even when they're off screen, and they're constantly moving in relation to Samus's position. So, finding a way to move through the room that puts them in an optimal position that you can dodge them without taking damage took a while for runners to figure out. So,
at the very least, they were like up there on where people would die. Yeah.
And when you have Plasma Beam, you can just sit there and kill them, realistically. But without Plasma Beam, they take a long time to kill. So stopping and killing them really isn't, it's not an option in the current RTA route. But again, when you have Plasma, those key hunter enemies aren't, they're not too bad to deal with, so. All right.
Crash Frigate Orphean. Such a great song.
Yeah, the whole Prime soundtrack is super good. Definitely.
Alrighty, on the way to Tyrion here. A little bit more Zodin pumping.
Again, Zost is not cheating. Fun fact, many years ago now, somebody actually privately messaged me, and they were like, hey, so I didn't want to bring this up publicly. I wanted you to look at it first and let me know what you think, but I was watching Zost do runs, and the way that he arm pumped in Speed Hallway just looked like he was using turbo buttons. And I went and looked, and it was not. Not even close to turbo buttons. And I was like, no, he's just pushing the buttons, I promise. Like,
well, a lot of people would look at my crappy webcam pointed at my controller and I don't see your fingers moving.
Well, yeah, and that's
like
you're not moving your fingers that much when you pump that way.
Yeah. You want to very
buttons aren't super loud. So yeah, it was kind of a funny exchange. I don't even remember who it was, so not a big deal. But
I got a lot of comments on YouTube about, looks like there's a turbo button in your R and L buttons. I'm just like, okay, I can't show you my controller in person or anything. So I try to do everything I can to show my hands and stuff, but at some point there has to be a modicum of belief, involved here.
Right. It's always funny when you get that YouTube comment that's like, this speedrun isn't real because I couldn't do it the way that they did.
It's just Really, all those compliments, all they come down to is just like compliments in a way, you know. I think that's the best way to look at it, honestly. Uh-oh. That was like something weird with the Metroids. Oh God, I didn't notice my missile count.
Oh yeah, this is dicey.
All right, we're gonna have to reload this.
Good call there. So if you don't have enough ammo leaving this Metroid room, you can actually not be able to finish the game. So that's why Zoast went ahead and reset that room. Good enough.
Wait, I didn't save, did I?
You did not.
Alright, we'll play it safe. Hopefully I didn't get hit there. Nice. A little bit of a safety there to not take that hit.
Yeah, so Zoast has a leeway of 2 missiles with his current ammo count.
Probably to save here.
Skip.
Probably to save here.
So that version of the baby skip was discovered a little less than 2 years ago now. We used to skip the baby, rotating the baby in the opposite direction. And then as a meme, somebody was like, hey, can you make it spin the other way? And turns out that was faster. So it's kind of funny that stuff like that happens sometimes. But
that story's... Oh, I'm gonna get hit here.
That was a trick called Zeb Skip. Basically, Zoast froze the little donut enemy. They're called Rinkas. He froze the one on the bottom, and the game prioritizes Samus standing on a frozen enemy as opposed to a regular platform for some reason. So when that happens, it clips Samus into that red barrier there, and you can just jump on through it. And then the game doesn't spawn the rest of them. So here's Mother Brain. It's 20 plasma shots to finish the fight. Very nice.
Pretty good fight.
Yep, good pattern. So that last attack that Mother Brain did, the red beam, we refer to it as catch-up. After she fires a catch-up beam, there's a period, it's like a cooldown period where she won't do anything else for 4 seconds or so. So if she fires a red beam right as you're finishing the damage on her, you actually lose a bunch of time. But she fired one with enough time that he was able to get the rest of the damage in, so that didn't happen.
I think that's an often underrated RNG moment in this game.
Absolutely. It's especially in the current RTA any percent. Like it's a longer fight, and so I think people have trouble kind of paying attention. And she's always firing 3 or 4 of those beams in that version of the fight, and so it's hard to tell. Like, okay, was that a good pattern? Was that a bad pattern? Like, if you're not the one counting the shots, visually, it's hard to tell. So.
Metroid skip. Yeah, one thing I love about that, not to denigrate tasks and the taskers that have come up with things, but that was something that was like the Stachio skip, the new way of doing baby skip, is something that would never be like faster for tasks. So like it's sort of a blind spot for a tasker, Yeah. And it was like it was not one of our like premier quote unquote premier runners. It was like it wasn't somebody on the top of the leaderboard either that came up with it. So anybody can find like strats that the best players can use.
Yeah. Like I said, I mean, somebody just asked the question as a meme, and it just happened to be faster, and not like negligible amounts either. I think it's like 2.5 seconds faster or something, which, you know, maybe doesn't sound like a whole lot, but in a game this optimized, it kind of is.
Well, here's the big thing for me is like it feels easier than the old way, or it's not harder. Usually when there's something that saves 2 or 3 seconds, you know, you're like, okay, this is going to be something difficult that I'm going to have to. It's going to be a you know, break point of the run, but
right.
This way was like easier for me, so it's easier and faster. You can't beat that.
So we are in the final segment of the game here, Zebus Escape. Essentially, Samus just needs to get back to her ship and then fly away before the planet explodes. So, you gonna be saving the animals, Zos?
Yes.
Okay.
You know, I almost picked up a reserve tank for safety. You know, like Brinstar Reserve, and I was gonna make a joke about alternate energy sources, but for the climate change theme. But
Right.
unfortunately, I didn't find picking up the reserve to be worthwhile enough to. I made the joke anyway, okay?
Okay. If he had picked up the reserve tank, there would have been a joke there.
That's my kind of joke.
These are the
like
animals.
if this would have been the case, then this would be a joke.
Bye, animals. So, going into that room, the animals are trapped. You shoot out the wall, and they are able to escape. And then you see a little purple dot fly away from the planet in the final cutscene. So, that is time. GG, Zoast.
Thank you. A little bit of a hit and miss run, but got some pretty happy with it because like Plasma Spark and the Ice Beam Hallway stuff. So
yeah,
some good stuff in there.
27 or 28? I know you wasted a bit of time on the missile refill.
Missile refill on the animals, and I'm gonna say it's probably a low 28 if I had to guess. Yeah, if I had to guess how much time this saves compared to like the PRKD routing, or like the RTA routing, if you played like at the same skill level, it feels like it may save like somewhere in a range of 15 to 20 seconds in-game time compared to that. So it's not like a huge optimization versus pure RTA strats. Like there's only so much you can kind of do to make it, you know, to optimize for in-game time. There's other things I could do that are trickier. Like almost you could say glitchier. I think you could say glitchier, but I'm choosing not to do them right now.
Makes sense.
Because really, since the in-game timer is essentially on a 1 minute frame rule, you don't have to max it out to, you know, achieve what you want to essentially.
Right. Well, GG again. Any final words before we send off here?
Just thank you, Zinni, so much for joining me on this. Zinni, you joined at the very last moment, almost unprompted. So, well, I mean, like you offered without me having, well, I didn't ask, but it's so much more helpful to have somebody when you're trying to run. To, you know, pick up the silent parts. So thank you so much, Zinni. I really appreciate you coming by.
Yeah, no problem. This game is really, really hard to play and talk at the same time. If you're ever watching a streamer and they're speedrunning this game and they don't say anything for minutes at a time, that's me, by the way, it's because it's really hard. So, good job. Good job, Zos.
Thanks, man. And thank you all for putting on the marathon. And, helping to raise awareness about climate change as well. So thanks for all that.
All right. I'm going to sign off here. Thanks, everyone.
Right, man. Have a good night, Zinni.
You too.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Gonna enjoy this Prime music. Dear Force. Good night, y'all. Enjoy the rest of the marathon.